live on the internet.
Gross.
Yay. I know you're happy for it. I know you're glad to be here. Oh, it seems to be loading. Okay, yeah, we're live. How about it?
Yay.
You just gonna be on Snapchat? Well,
No.
okay. Anyway, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second Iron Horsemen screenshot competition. I am here, well, you know who I am. I'm the Admiral. With me I have Guya. And we also have Hemlock, the person who suggested this topic that we're going to be covering.
Hi, I exist by default, I suppose.
You do exist by default. I'm not sure if you're loud enough for me. I'm sorry if there is some double Hemlock going on, but that's not actually something that I can particularly well correct right now without some additional hardware. So we're going to just sort of...
Just what we need, more of me.
Yeah. We're just going to forge ahead. Okay. I'll go by individual responses. I believe this is how I did it last time. I did add one category, or one thing in the submission, but I'll cover what we're doing very briefly. Oh, you know what? This is wrong. I didn't fix the text at the top. It should have said they will be scored on Wednesday, March 10th. 10th, 2021, blah blah blah. Okay. Anyway, total of 9 responses to the prompt, which was short line. Hemlock, if you want to elaborate on that, you're welcome to.
Well, I like short lines. I wasn't really thinking of much in the way of specifics in this, but, you know, short lines tend to be jeeps and smaller steam power or stuff like that, which is kind of what I was looking for.
Yeah, I hope that's what we get. I haven't looked through these screenshots yet. You've actually seen them now more than I have. Yeah, Tyler says double hem is in existence. So I'm not sure. Look at this boomer using OBS. As opposed to what, Dean? Dean isn't here, but I did say that if he submitted something, we were going to blame him for the closure of Benny's.
Oh my god, yeah.
And then knock a point off. Alright, I'm going to up Hemlock's audio because Dean said he's very, very quiet. Either way, I'll try not to talk over him. So, for those of you that were around for the last screenshot competition, you know generally how this works. If you know my trains route build competitions or judging, you kind of know how this works. It's 10 categories, up 10 points each. Dean doesn't know what Benny's is.
Of course he
Trash.
Twash.
So they're scored on 10 categories, which are impact, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's my first glance at the screenshot. What do I think of it? Creativity, construction, which is the scenery. Can't even spell the name I don't use anymore, right? Composition, which is a sort of, photographic composition. Content, which is about the quality of content, but I also said I would augment it in case there is private content used. I'd probably knock a point off because it's an unfair advantage. Not like something somebody made, but something somebody has exclusive access to that they didn't make. Charisma is not a stat in a screenshot competition. Story, because there is a portion of the submission form that allows some writing. World, which is sort of the believability of all those things put together. Relevancy, which is about the prompt. Completeness, which is about doing the submission right, which is sort of more of technical points, but I like to include it because, I'll give people points for reading and doing the thing right. And of course the bonus category, which can be augmented by our extra sort of submission question, which was production notes, because there were quite a few things during the first screenshot competition, during the test, that were, like, people told to me through the chat as we were going through it, and it was like, oh, you know what? people shouldn't have to like jump into this and have me read that. It should just be included in here so I know what's going on. So anyway, we'll start from the top. I think these are in the order that they were submitted, which makes sense because no, I'm not paying everyone. This is going to be on the internet from now until nuclear apocalypse. If they miss the live stream, they'll be okay. Yeah. Anyway, our first screenshot is from Wild. I've got to set up the form a little bit, which I don't remember how I did the first page. Let me see. Okay, I did it like this, so I'm going to copy this down there. I sort of started setting up at 5 of and went, you know what, I got to get this all in order, and I haven't done one of these this year. I know, haha, dad joke. But I haven't done one of these this year, and I didn't remember how I set it up, so I spent several minutes just sort of sitting here going, alright, how did I do this last time? So, we will delete this, delete this, delete this, and these. So we will clean this up, and then this also gives an opportunity for, if we're done scoring a screenshot, and you Hemlock have more comments on it, you know, to sort of fill the air while I'm setting up the thing for the next one. Either way, I can close that tab out. The first screenshot, and I put these in a temp folder, is Mists of Maine, which, let's see, Mists of Maine, it's just called Capture 2, so that's kind of unhelpful. Not great result in the points there right away. So this is Mists of Maine. I'm going to take a minute to look at it because impact points are important, and I really do like the ambiance, although I don't know what's going on right here. So, and this is, Hemlock, you know which one to open, yes? Or which one to look at? Or do you want to have the stream up so you know which one to be observing?
Yeah, I'm good. I also have this one up just
Okay.
so I know what's going on.
Okay. I just wanted to soak this one in a little bit. Not that we won't be looking at it quite a bit. I'm being cheated. My chats aren't showing up. Your chats look fine to me. Put the webcam in the bottom right. Oh, you know what? I should do that. Hold on. There. That's better. Can we watch ourselves? Okay, so the Mists of Maine. Now, I will copy this stuff in. So this is Mists of Maine by Brett / Weibold or Weebold. Did I add? I'm trying to make sure my formatting is perfectly identical to the way it was before. And I will copy this in, or actually more easily, I can go over here. Which one is Mists of Maine? It's this one. Thank you. Copy image. I can paste it right here. Ta-da! And then we're gonna grab the screenshot story. Oh, I just got the gist of it, and I already love it. So, this is about the Eagle Lake locomotives. Eagle Lake and West Branch number 2 plods along towards bridge number 1 on a cold, foggy morning. She hauls only logs, has hauled logs for years, and will haul nothing but logs until her working days are done. Back and forth she goes, minding her footing on the rough, weed-infested tracks of the EL and WB. Back and forth, back and forth. Again, I'm loving the ambiance here, just top to bottom. Not that there could be anything but in a screenshot set on the Eagle Lake Railroad. But, I mean, when it comes around to bonus points, I'll have more comments about this. But the fact that we had just been talking about this and that this was like a subject of coming up to Operation Apollo, maybe we'd go see these two locomotives. If you aren't familiar, if anybody watching the stream is not familiar with the Eagle Lake locomotives, they are a pair of steam engines that were brought out to the middle of nowhere, Maine. They weren't actually brought by rail. They were sort of dragged and then a line was built for them out there in the middle of nowhere, connected to nothing except for a lake at one end and a lake at the other end, just to get logs from one to the other. And the engines were, it didn't make sense to drag them out of there when they were done, and they're still sitting there in the forest. You can look them up, you can hike to them. It's a really, really cool little spot. So, as far as impact goes, if we're gonna get started on the scoring, unless you guys have any more comments that you want to make. I mean, obviously I'll leave some space here. You're welcome.
Well, for one, I am a sucker for bridge shots.
Yeah?
And I mean, this isn't exactly what I have in mind when I say I'm a sucker for bridge shots, but I do appreciate bridges.
I do like that bridge. Yeah, this is technically a bridge shot. There's a bridge in the shot. So that very familiar birch tree. Anyway, as far as impact goes, I'm rating this as kind of a, 7 to 8. I've got this very certain feel, right? It's not exactly a punch in the gut sort of image, but it does have an aura to it, that's for sure. Part of me feels like it deserves an 8. I don't know, 7, 8. I'm kind of going back and forth. One feels too low, the other feels almost too high because there's not anything super flashy in the screenshot. But a screenshot doesn't have to be flashy to have an impact, right? So, maybe I'm thinking about it the wrong way.
By the way, apparently this is not Leibold's entry.
No? Did he submit another one?
I have no idea.
Worth note, not my actual entry. Alright, let me double check this then. I didn't realize he was going to submit a second one, although he did mention that. So I will check. Okay, he did put a second one down here. Okay. Alright, well that was a good test. Alright. Next time, I'll check the submission titles, or submission names twice, but also try to submit one. Either way, cool screenshot, moving along. I had some bonus points there too. That could have been a good screenshot. Oh well.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Okay, so let me individual responses. Delete response number 1. Now on to new response number 1. This is the Mill Creek Manifest. I see Albany and Eastern, so I already know this is Milky's. Alright. I liked that one too. Hopefully the other one's better. Otherwise it'd be really disappointing if it's replaced with a screenshot that we don't like as much. Okay. Yeah, very, very milky, that's for sure. SP Jeeps. So I like, also barely a bridge shot. This isn't much of a bridge. It's a bridge that stands about 4 feet tall. But a bridge is a bridge, I guess.
So.
Yeah. Gloria says it's a bridge shot. Oh, is that Providence and Worcester? Is that a Providence Worcester boxcar in the background? I think that's probably done on purpose and is almost certainly worth a bonus point. But SP Jeeps on.
Jeeps?
Yeah.
Jeeps?
GEEP, not JEEP.
Oh.
Yeah. Presumably a GP9 or GP7. I don't know which one is which. Anyway, keeping us on our toes. I'm just catching up with the chat. Bridget. So, Mill Creek Manifest. Let me drop these in where they belong. Title Mill Creek Manifest by, drumroll please, Milky Penguin. The Milky vibes be strong. Yeah, I mean, this is about what you expect. Let's see.
If you were to ask me which one was Milky's, I would have picked this one.
Yeah. It'd be tough to get it wrong. Gosh darn it. I copied the link instead of the picture. Copy image. You don't need to pity me.
Who said it was pitying you?
I don't know what else that was.
It's just comforting you. But okay. I guess I'm pitying you. I need
It's been 10 minutes and you're sleeping on the couch already.
what?
Something about simping. Thumbnail's 8 trillion. The thumbnail has 8 trillion LE. Anyway, okay, so let's go over our story here. A Willamette Valley train crosses Mill Creek at Almsville, Oregon in October 1993. It's been 6 months since the WVR started operations over the former Southern Pacific, West Staten, and Gear branch lines. Gear. The 3859 was one of the first locomotives owned by the new railroad and continues to operate on the WVR's sister railroad, the Albany and Eastern, as their 1750. Today, the sounds of the railroad rolling through Almsville are a distant memory due to washouts 10 miles north of this spot in 2012. For now, the old railroad line awaits its next rebirth. That's the wrong it's. Willamette. Yeah. Yeah, no, I have fun mispronouncing it. Let me add space for Will.I.am. Yeah. Let me add space for the route. The route is on. Idea. The route is on a dim of the actual location. Reskin blah 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 for the screenshot. Use walk mode to make it look this picture. Oh, so there's a real. Can I? No, I didn't. Let me see the original picture, because that's kind of cool. That's worth some points. Oh yeah, that's pretty close. I don't think that's a Province and Worcester boxcar, second from the back, but it does look really close. Not so many trees and foliage, but you know, a small price to pay for sanity. Okay, so let me pop open this screenshot again. No, that's not the folder at all. Mill Creek Manifest. So as far as impact goes, it doesn't rate super highly. I mean, it's a pretty screenshot with a lot of vibrant green. And you've got the engine front and center, which is nice. But it doesn't suck me in as much as, well, at least the first one did, and some of the ones from last competition. That said, it is well framed, although that's a different set of points. I don't know. I like it. Just isn't quite so impactful. Maybe it is because the engine's kind of popping out of me, but I'm thinking like a 6 or 7. 2 cents?
Yeah, it is a pretty screenshot, but it's not. It's pretty screenshot, but I wouldn't necessarily call it like stand out.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a standout.
Oh, don't worry, Bender. Bridge shots are not a requirement. They're not a requirement. I just am a slut for bridge shots.
Yeah, they'll help your score with him. But he's not scoring them. I am. Anyway, as far as creativity goes, well, this is very standard for Milky, but certainly points for recreating down to the order of freight cars a screenshot from real life. I mean, I'm not sure if that should be points for
I'm
or
pretty
against.
sure those are just called pictures.
Screenshot from real life. Yeah, thank you. I that exited my mouth and I didn't even think twice about it, but you're right. Those are just called pictures.
But at the same time, he also did create a whole new landscape for it. I mean, it is the same, but it does have more foliage
Right.
than the other picture.
That's true. He did sort of adapt it. I mean, I'll bet you it's not particularly similar to any of the other screenshots. So it's as, I mean, I doubt any two screenshots are going to be fairly similar, if I'm honest.
Again.
Uh, this is a broad net that we've casted. But I don't know. I'm thinking the same sort of thing. Maybe I'll give a 7 instead of a 6 because I felt in the middle of the road on the last one, so I'll go in the middle of the road on this one. I'll err on the other side, and I keep closing out the screenshot when I don't mean to. The next thing is construction, and I mean this is well built. The trees are a little bit different, and there's like an empty space in the back. I don't know what's up with that.
I thought the trees all looked a little samey, like it's the same tree 7 times.
Yeah, that's one of the things that gets me. It is very much the same. It's a row of the same trees, as if you're next to a managed forest. But yeah, I have to applaud him on sticking by the real scene, at least as far as things other than foliage go. But yeah, that's one of the things. It needs some variety, and again, it has this sort of hole in the back that this one doesn't have, as a matter of fact. I mean, now I'm just praising Greg Brown. So good job, Greg, for putting trees in the back of your shot. I'm just gonna let that slide in there with a 6. All right, composition though. I mean, at this point we're just judging Greg. So, how is the composition of Greg's real life screenshot? Although honestly,
Sticking with it, I see.
Yeah, no, I have to at this point. I think I'm committed.
As someone who never lets a bit die, I can understand.
This is the part where I pull out a floppy disk and say they turned the save icon into a real thing.
God damn it.
Baby.
What?
Stop.
But honestly, in terms of direct comparison, I almost like the framing of Milky's shot more. I feel like the engine...
It's more up close and personal.
Yeah. I mean, that tends to be how things go in a train simulator. It's almost tough to make things feel big. But I just, for whatever reason, aside from the back corner, as mentioned 100 times already, I just feel like it's better framed. You know, maybe this photo was snapped a half a second too late, and the engine should have been more centered like it is in the screenshot. But I don't know. I think it came out for the better. I actually quite like the composition. I'm willing to give some room here and throw an 8 on the board for Milky. It's not mind blowing, but it is pretty good. And as far as content goes, I mean, he reskinned that himself. I can't knock that. These are all really nice cars, speed trees, foliage. I know this trestle, and it's, even though it's fairly low poly, it's, you know, all hidden in the brush and stuff. Done a very good job of concealing that. Honestly, I see no reason not to give a 10 on this. There's nothing that jumps out at me. Actually, no, I'll give a 9. I'll give a 9 because you could have done better tree variety.
We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close.
We were this close if you'd only planted something other than a Douglas fir in a dead straight line. I don't actually know what these are. I just thrown a tree name out there.
Like vaguely pinish.
Yeah. So, story, mostly well done. Couple of little typos. At least that one that I can pick out. But otherwise, I mean, it's well written, it's informative. It's not exactly evocative of much, although in a distant memory due to washouts 10 miles north of the spot in 2012. I assume this is the Tillamook branch. I don't know for certain, but I don't know where, because I don't know where Almsville is exactly. But I know a branch with a lot of washouts, that's for sure. Pacific West State Gear branch. I don't know what that branch was actually called either. But either way, this provides a lot of good information if you wanted to go digging about this
Yeah.
what this screenshot was in reality.
Some grammatical complaints notwithstanding, it is good.
Yeah, I've got very little to complain about. I'll drop an 8 for story. I'll take it. Okay. Also, I think honestly, and maybe this is being too generous, but for world, this is a real picture, effectively. I see no reason not to give it a 10.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. It definitely did happen,
Yeah.
and so
Now, relevancy to the prompt. This is probably another easy 10 considering it's a short line.
it is a short line.
Yeah. It fits the bill. The 3 that should be relatively easy to get a 10 on, or at least a 9, you're either going to get you should be able to get a 10 on relevancy, a 10 on completeness, and close to a 10 on content and world. I feel like those should be relatively good gimmies. I don't often find reasons to take points off of those. So, completeness. Let's look at this submission. Let's boil this down. So, everything is good. Add a screenshot plus your username. That's done correctly. That's done correctly. Yeah, this is a 10.
Yeah.
And for completeness. Bonus points. Let me go back down here. I mean, definitely a point because it's real. Point because he reskinned that himself.
Yeah, the fact that he recreated the exact consist is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, as close as he could. Some of them are not exactly the same color, but I mean, heaven forbid you do gray instead of blue.
Yeah.
What is this? Golden West Service? Or I don't know what this railroad is. The first boxcar on the consist.
The only the only company railroad I know that uses like a light blue is the trunk, and that's not trunk.
Yeah, I'm seeing like a C. Oh, I zoomed in more. I didn't know I could do that. And with an R. I mean, it's not Conrail, that's for sure, but it looks like it could be.
Control scroll wheel is a trend here.
I mean, yeah, I realize that. I'm just not using it for whatever reason. So, the reskin, the recreation, the DEM, the Providence of Worcester boxcar, I mean, that's 4 bonus points right there. I can't really... Nothing else jumps out at me as a reason to give a bonus point, but that seems pretty good to me, unless you guys have got a hat to throw in here.
Not particularly.
Alright, and that's a 78. That's a pretty good score. I mean, unlike a route review, I have a feeling that most results are going to be in relatively high numbers. Check the meme doc. Oh, thank you. I'm glad somebody put the meme doc, or put real life screenshot on the meme doc.
Oh, great.
So, all right. I'm going to set up the next submission, so if you guys think there's anything left to be said about this one, I would like to thank Milky for his submission in general.
I would like to take a minute to say that Bloody Nose is just an awful name for a paint scheme.
People will fight me. The paint scheme on that locomotive is called Bloody Nose. It's the way the paint is, because it has the red front.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why would you name a paint scheme that? Just gross.
Southern Pacific was not great with the paint scheme names. They had Black Widow and Bloody Nose.
Love that.
Okay, but Black Widow is kind of cool.
I mean, it's kind of cool unless you don't like spiders.
I mean, I don't
Well,
like spiders, and I still
kinda
like
cool if
Black
you're not a
Widow
coward.
color.
Okay. I think the original Brightline. Jesus Christ. Okay, we'll delete this and move on to the next submission, which is Cross Creek Coal, which I already like the alliterative title. So let's get the impact of... What are you doing?
doing something.
I thought you were like trying to hide it.
No.
Cross Creek RR East Rail 11.
Oh, those East rails.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like this shot. Oh, great,
Oh,
more
boy.
bridge shots though. We've always
I
got
like
bridge
Yes.
shots.
that.
My man, East Rail.
Oh, it's east.
Honestly, Hemlock, when it comes to East, I'm never sure if you're like, yeah, let's vote this guy up, or no, let's vote this guy down. Like, I don't know what to expect out of you.
Our relationship is complicated and varied.
Yeah, that's for sure. This is this is a cool screenshot. Also, I thought these were slugs for a minute, and I was excited that he found some B units to throw in there.
Yes, this is a very good screenshot,
You know
personally.
what it reminds me of?
What?
Not to be a simp, but it reminds me of the picture you sent me when you went on the horseman trip last year of the train going over the
Oh,
bridge.
yeah, that was from somewhere near Fuller's, New York. The only train we saw out that way, the only train that O'Gillies got to see, and it was a BNSF train.
Chivo's on stacks.
Yeah. Yes, hon, I am calling you a coward. What's going on in there?
I'm saying he's a coward because he doesn't like spiders.
Oh. Well, spiders are meh.
I'm in it.
Stop it. By East Rail 11. By West Road 22. Alright, let me go grab that from you. There it is. For whatever reason, it's right on top. These things just came out for no reason, or in no particular order, I suppose. So there's our sun-setting screenshot. Let's talk about the story. Let me copy it and paste it. The Cross Creek Railroad was formed in the 70s on the recently sold-off Milwaukee Road Pacific Extension. Right before the abandonment, a massive coal deposit was found in the mountains around western Montana. The railroad started with 6 ex-Milwaukee SD9s and 4 ex-Milwaukee GP7s. The GP7s were later traded into EMD for 3 GP40s, and then later purchasing another 3 GP40s. When BNSF was formed, they sold off a variety of older power, including 3 GP38s bought by the CCRR. This scene is across the railroad's largest viaduct, taking empty hoppers up to the coal mine to be loaded during the night and taken back down in the morning, where they interchange with the BNSF. Okay, so that's an interesting backstory. I almost feel like it's too detail-heavy when it comes to the locomotive origins. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it's got information there. If this is on the Pacific Extension, let me check the, okay, no. I was checking the production notes to see if there was a note about if this was a real location or not, because I would have been interested had it been.
God damn it. I think you should get a point off for saying thanks, Daddy Kevon.
I'm not against that, honestly. I'm not against that. Daddy, come on.
You get what you deserve.
What? Stop it. We're live on the internet, darling.
And
Simps.
You should know that the internet is a perfectly clean and non-dirty place.
don't give me that shit.
It's not a real location, but it is a dam of western Montana. Next time, put that in the notes. That's cool. So, as far as scoring goes, Impact, this definitely jumped out at me. This is like an 8 or a 9, for sure.
Yeah, it is. It is very strong.
With the sun setting under the bridge, yada yada yada. Honestly, I'll give it a 9, if only because I don't feel like giving it a 10. Like I don't feel like it's that good. It doesn't have me over the moon, but it is really good. Also, I want this bridge spline. Anyway, and as far as creativity goes, clearly there was a lot of discussion that went into the backstory of this. Taking jeeps out to western Montana to run on Ex-Milwaukee Road. I mean, just the assemblage of power up here, which, I mean, there's quite a few pixels in the screenshot, but you can see them all. Yeah, I mean, I think it's very creative and cool. I think I'd drop an 8 here, if only because, well, you know, a coal train with second gen power maybe feels a little bit passe. Maybe we have too many bridge shots.
We've done like 2 screenshots.
I know, but
Bridges are in. That
of
is
the
it.
2.5 screenshots we have, they've all been bridge shots, ish.
I mean, the first is technically not. And you could barely see the bridge in Milky's. Besides,
Yeah.
even if they were bridge shots, this is something very different with the concept.
That is true. I'm not necessarily talking about these results in specific, though. We have had a lot of, you know, from what I've, you know, these 2.5 screenshots, blah, blah, blah. But in general, I feel like this is a very classic photograph, right?
Yeah.
It's a very well done classic photograph. But, you know, it's perfectly square onto the bridge. I don't know. There are reasons why this, I mean, I still think it deserves an 8 easily. But
Yeah.
when you start looking at it under a harsher light, it's like, oh, this is the kind of shot that we've all seen before. Like you even said, I took one myself. So, anyway. My recommendation to everyone is don't go climbing around the bridges at Fuller's. The cops will show up immediately.
Do you get arrested or something?
No, but they did show up and tell us to go somewhere else, which we did.
No game.
Had that on the pile with the CSX story.
Yeah.
You can't have you getting arrested.
No, you're not going to bail me out.
I will, but I can't have you getting arrested.
Anyway, well, the real difficult part is if I get arrested, the car gets impounded, and that's no fun for the poor car. Anyway, what are you looking
the
at me
poor
for?
car.
What are you looking at me for?
The poor car.
Okay, now construction. This is a really well built screenshot. I mean, it is on a dem, but
Yeah.
nevertheless, it's a good spot of terrain. It is all treed up on a Thursday night. Like I said, I want that. Yeah, I know. I want that bridge spline. I said you didn't need to point it out. You didn't need to. I could have lived in my own little world for a minute. Where it's Thursday, just a little closer to Friday. But yeah, I mean, as far as construction goes, I've got no faults for this at all. You know, although I don't know what's going on down here. Well, I suppose that's just the light playing on treetops. Yeah, no, I'll throw him a bone for construction. Maybe the one thing it's missing is a little bit of variety. You know, maybe you could have put a little something down here. But now I'm just looking for reasons not to give it a 10, and frankly, I've been doing that for both of the other categories, so I'll just give him a 10 and move on.
What if they need a Scrody asset just to put in one of these screenshots?
Oh, a Scrody asset?
Yeah.
Oh god. Did somebody mention that in... No.
No, I was just thinking, what could you put in this picture to spice it up a little?
Yeah, yeah. Where's the, oh, what's the asset we need? It's that stupid planetarium asset. You just put that down in the foreground. Or one of the big blue push pins. Just on the mountainside in the background. Actually, that's something that could have been tossed in, although this is supposed to be the 70s, I suppose, so they wouldn't have been there. But every ridge like this in my head has wind turbines on it. But, you know, nevertheless, composition, this is a great photograph. The only thing that gets me is lights acting weird on these trees. over on the left. And I don't know if I like where the train is on the bridge. I mean, I don't know what would be better.
Yeah,
You want the train hanging off the bridge? Is that
Yeah,
what you want?
yeah, I do.
You want to see it dangling and then just like pictures of coal just coming out of
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want a wreck scene, short
You
line
wanna-
wreck scene.
You want a wreck scene?
I don't think we have one this screenshot competition, but I'm sure we'll get them, and that's actually a good idea for a suggestion.
Next.
I mean, I don't depict a wreck, but there's some stuff in the story.
Oh boy. Am I gonna cry?
Did you already?
Not this time.
Anyway, yeah, I'll give it a 9 for composition. And I suppose some of this stuff can't be helped, but I don't know. You work with the cards you're dealt, I guess. I have 7 DMs. I need to stop looking at DMs during this. I'm not going to. To be fair, with this taking IRL, there is nothing but trees. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that for sure. Which is why I give it 10 for construction, because it's as realistic as it's gonna get. Content. So, some of this stuff was reskinned, which is cool. I don't know where this bridge came from. I don't think anything here is bad. You know, these are all speed trees, as far as I can tell.
I mean, if anything on that back ridge isn't a speed tree, it's not like you're going to be able to tell anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I can tell. Years of route reviewing. I can pick out
It's
Maple
more
Beach Birch
powerful
at
than
a
it's
distance of
possible.
30 miles.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But anyway. Content, I mean, easy 10. I see no reason not to give this a 10. Story. Alright, so I think there's too much history of the locomotives in here. Tell me more about the line.
Yeah.
I like the very opening and the very ending, and then everything in the middle it almost feels unnecessary. The lineage of the locomotives is cool, but I feel like it could have been broken down so you're not talking about the engines they got, and then they bought later, and then they traded, and then they got more, and then, you know, this, like, I don't know, too much in the way of details there. It's cool, and it would be cool to read if I wanted a breakdown of the motive power history of the Cross Creek Railroad, but I want to hear about the picture, you know? So, I don't know. I'm going to give it a 6. Maybe that's low, but I've been handing out high numbers as well. Anyway, world points. Well, this is real. Or, well, the location is proto-lanced, I guess you could say. It's a place, which I don't know if it's a real place. My DMs are all about my entry not being the real entry. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Why? Should have done the Key West Bridge thing. Is that a short line? I don't think that's a short line, Matt.
The FEC is not a short line, Matt. Get your head out of the ocean. Besides, the Key West extension's dead. You want to talk about the Key West extension?
Oh, here, where I wrote your name in dust.
Yeah. It's going away.
It's going away. Well, that means I probably should dust.
Yeah.
Right now it says Gova. Gova Keen. But, yeah, I mean, I'll give it a 9, if only because I feel like there are some missing holes in the there are some holes in the description, I feel like. You know, interchanging with BNSF, we're on the Pacific Extension. How much of the Pacific Extension is there? Is it just this segment? I don't know. I feel like the description answers fewer questions than it creates.
Yeah.
and it answers a bunch of questions that I would not have asked, probably. Now, relevancy to the prompt. Does the Milwaukee Road Pacific Extension count as a short line?
I mean, it is a short line formed on the Pacific Extension, so yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good enough.
I mean, it started with like 10 locomotives, so
Yeah.
I'd say that's.
It's a big short line. I almost want to give it a 9 because it's like, this is almost not a short line. But, you know, whatever. I'll let this one slide. Now, as far as completeness goes, let's look at the submission. Cross Creek Coal, there's a title, there's a thing. The screenshot is named incorrectly. Everything else is done fine, so that's an 8. Bonus points. I think one of these is, is a patch. Yeah, no, we use this model in the Horsemen, so that's a point.
I gave it a point because it reminds me of you.
So East Rail gets some points, I see.
I guess so. And another one because I want that bridge. Okay, quick maths. 9 plus... This is going to be a good one, that's for sure. 9 plus 8 plus 10, plus 9 plus 10, plus 6 plus 9, nice, plus 10 plus 8 plus 3. That's an 82. That's pretty good. The patch for Cross Creek. Oh, right, sorry. One more point because of the reskins. That's a good one. Oh, wait, no, I'm taking that point off because it says thanks to Daddy Kevon.
Yeah.
That's right. There we go. Easy done.
Yeah, East Rail, if you wanted that extra point, you should have just kept it in your goddamn pants, you animal.
Sim points. Sim points.
Okay. So, delete that, moving right along. Next one, A Bridge Not Far. With a title like that, I wonder whose this could be.
Is it Tyler? I feel like that
Yes.
sounds like Tyler. Yeah, there it is. God damn it, Tyler.
A Bridge Not Far. I feel like, yeah, because we were talking about utilizing Bailey bridges in the Horsemen. So it's like, oh, of course he's
Yeah,
gonna title
we were.
his submission that. Oop, and I deleted that. It's fine. Title. A Bridge Not Far. Oh, you know what? Sorry, no, I have to give East that point back. Because the alliterative...
You don't have to give them anything.
No, I do. The alliterative title gets a point. I like it. And I'll probably give an extra point for A Bridge Not Far, even though it makes my dad joke senses tingle.
That,
Go ahead.
I don't, that isn't even a joke. It's just the bridge, yes.
I like my war movies, he says.
Yeah, I can tell.
Anyway, alright, this screenshot is called A Bridge Not Far, so that means it's...
Blah, blah, Davenport, blah, blah, Pearl
Bridge Not
Harbor.
Far. Hey, it's even titled correctly. Wow, there's a lot of detail in this. I like this.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the... He talked about this on the podcast, and I didn't even realize it was a screenshot, I don't think.
He did. He shared a different screenshot, but I will talk about that a little bit. That's for later.
Okay. Is it an angry sort of talk about? That bird is about to fly into the power line.
Yeah.
Which is good because I hate
can
that
we get
stupid
enough of this
asset.
chat for this poor man, this poor bald eagle, a national icon.
Oh my god. A national icon's about to get tangled up in some wires. Alright, hold on. Let me copy that, in. What is up with... We'll get to that. I just scrolled by a screenshot that I'm pretty sure is on an alien planet.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Let me just say, environmental settings in trains are something fun.
Yeah. Fun is a word for it. Oh boy. boy. This has got a wordy sort of title too, or a wordy sort of story. But not that I have a problem with that. But I'm gonna need to turn this font size way down,
Yeah,
or I
anyway.
guess I'll just suck it up and spread this across multiple pages. Which I will do. There we go.
Tyler, why are you pulling out the word of the day words? Come on, man.
What did he do? Alright, let's read this off. After I drop in this.
Indefatigable. What?
Indefatigable?
That barely feels like
Yeah.
a word.
Okay. The year is 1935, and the United States is in the midst of the Depression. While tensions brew in foreign lands, the not-so-foreign land of California plays host to beautiful occurrences which, while regular at the time, were never meant to last. A father and his sons, along with their adventurous cat, ventured on the relatively new Yosemite all-weather highway to witness the natural splendor of the Yosemite Valley. In the warm drizzle of that April morning, a slightly different Yosemite Valley meets them at Bridge 29A. The sky to the west is clear, giving the crew hope for a cozy rest in Merced. Number 23, a 1907 graduate of Alco's Rogers Works, evidently is enjoying a gentle drift downhill as nature remains uninterrupted alongside the tracks. Number 23, along with the rest of the YVRR, would see its role as the gateway to one of America's natural splendors through until the end of the Second World War, at which juncture the highway bringing today's witnesses will siphon off all the remaining traffic. However, these winds of change were still 10 years out, leaving the crew with a slight breeze instead. The warm glow of the rising sun keeps the mixed service in high spirits as those on board start their colorful trek back to a grimy yet indefatigable civilization. I only know that word because of Drakenfell.
Yeah, it's a word. I don't...
Cat.
Dude, please. Words that I can pronounce. Come on.
A guy and his son, and also apparently their butler.
Well, they said sons.
Did it say sons? Oh, okay. I thought it was a father and his son, and then,
Yeah.
like, the dude that drove them out there.
Yeah,
Who will remain anonymous.
Butler in that car, man.
There's a butler in the car.
You know.
They're
That's just
also
that's just
parked
his
a little
dapper
close to
son.
that bridge.
What about the bridge?
Anyway. Tyler's saying that the Eagle is actually like 10 feet away from the wires, but it's forced perspective.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's crashing into those wires. I don't care what anybody
Yeah.
says.
Yeah, they're about to get a really good roast bird.
Chicken.
I lust for beast sugar. Party in the USA, more like depression in the USA. Alright. So, starting from the top, this thing absolutely just leapt out at me.
Yeah, it gives a very strong impression.
Mm-hmm. The second impression I had was, this looks like a European coach with those vents. Just throwing it out there.
Kind of see what you mean, but like, eh.
Also, these rocks are definitely just Factorio ore deposits. I mean, look at them. They're brightly colored, sort of, you know, I know it's gray, but it's like a blue, gray, and orange. There's your copper deposit, there's your iron deposit.
Iron, you say?
Yes,
Minecraft.
big iron on his...
Big iron on his hill.
I mean, everything here is gorgeous, but
Yeah,
yes,
it's pretty.
as far as impact goes, it definitely jumps out as like a, damn, this is quite a screenshot, and I am just about willing to give it a 10. I can't find anything that's like a detractor from that. You know, it's like...
Mason is gonna realign Tyler's rail network. Mason is going to move the entire Yosemite Valley Railroad like a foot to the left.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you do it, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's more efficient. It's standardized.
I like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. Cleveland baseball team. Anyway, I wanted to go through his production notes as well. Before anyone suggests it, no, nothing in the screenshot is private content. Route uses route used is a modified version of the YVRR available on the DLS. Only the ground height was maintained. Everything else was swapped or introduced into the scene in a 4-hour period after many drafts. Oh, this is one of those, I spent X number of hours on this, please give me upvotes.
Yeah,
This scene is populated with specific animals present in or near the Yosemite Valley region and can be spotted on the ridge to the right or in the air about to crash into lines. This screenshot and the many similar ones produced of this scene is now the basis for a new YVRR route project in cooperation between myself, Dan of Transforge, and Curtis of Carson Car Shops. The consist is period correct, besides being a boxcar, of which I do not have a specific record of any of those venturing onto the YVRR. So basically, he's just trying to hand me he's trying to get himself a bonus point by including the B&M, and
yeah, he's trying to suck up to the judges.
And that would never win me over.
Are you sure?
Yeah, never.
I say after giving him a bonus point. Anyway, creativity. There's layers upon layers to this screenshot. I mean, the wildlife, the fact that he went as far as to find, like, area correct wildlife.
Like, the thing that makes me angry about Tyler is that this is very good, and I feel like there's no hope of topping him.
I don't want to just give this thing, like, straight 10s, but...
Yeah.
I mean, you got a bald eagle about to crash into some power lines. You got a cat on the roof of a car, and then and that's a fat cat.
Now,
and then you got some animals over there too.
I do have one like major thing I want to say about this screenshot that I think makes it perfect.
Okay.
But just that again, that's a little later.
Okay, I have a couple things. One of them I already mentioned is the rocks, because they're just so like weirdly placed. I feel like if they were sunk into the ground more, it'd be a lot better. And just the colors of them. I know that's not Tyler's fault, but man. But as far as creativity goes, this is an easy 10. This everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Tyler does good work.
Yeah, well that's for sure. Now construction, again, I think we're at a 9 here. The only thing I would say is the rocks are kind of weird. That's it. I mean, what else do I say about this? Maybe no, not even. Like I was thinking like, oh, you need more stumps on the hillside, but no, there are tons of them.
Yeah,
there's a missing patch of grass down there. I'm not gonna, knock off a full point for a bald spot. Hell, I'll be having one of those sooner or later.
Give it time. Give it time.
So yeah, that's a 9. The only thing, okay, that's a 9 on construction. Composition though. I wish.
Okay, composition is where I actually have things to say.
Okay.
Because after watching the podcast earlier today, or at least the first like half hour of the podcast, and seeing the screenshot that he showed on the podcast, which was, the same scene but just taken from a different angle.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is especially when you compare it to that, this may not be fair, but the composition here is kind of weak. Like, being on top of the coach is cool when you first look at it, but then it feels a little empty. Like the other screenshot he submitted, that one feels far stronger actually. Because you're there, you're in the middle of it. You see the guy off the one side, the guy off to the other. The cat's right there in frame. Whereas here, I kind of have to look for the cat. Like if he hadn't
you have
said
to
there
look
was
for
a
the cat. Minus
wouldn't
points for having to look for the cat.
I want to make sure I see that fat cat.
Yeah. No, but I absolutely agree with you. I wish the train was backed up like 10, 20 feet, I wish this coach didn't take up so much of the cone of vision.
Yeah, like, it's... Putting the camera on top of the coach is a very neat concept, but then, as an actual shot, it kind of hurts the composition.
Yeah. And maybe move the eagle out of the way.
We want to protect nature, not destroy it.
Specifically bald eagles, because America. Also, I do like the suicide doors in the car. I just... Damn.
Oh, suicide doors. Oh no.
I wanted to do a different composition based on the photo, focusing more on nature. I'm bummed because I botched my story, but I completely spaced out and changed it last minute. Uh-oh. Well, we'll get there. It'd be funny if Alice's computer killed itself on stream. No, it wouldn't.
No.
Hold on. Graham, it's running fine.
It's fine.
Okay. I kind of wish I had my own pop-out window to see what my camera looked like. Honestly, I have no idea what my camera looks like, because it's not, like, in view of the live stream anymore. On my half window here, which everyone, of course, can see. I'm preaching to the choir. So, composition, yeah, no, do I give it an 8? I feel like that's almost too much for a nitpick. But, yeah, no, I have to give it a 9. I can't drop it down to an 8. That's too much. It took me effort. Yes, it does take me effort to move the camera. Content. Now, he did clarify that none of this stuff is content that he was able to schmooze out of anybody. No private content here. Screw that bird. I'm back and forth between save the bird and get it out of here. Just in general.
Yeah.
The sign is brand new, I remember. The one thing that I would knock off, though, is this bridge is so old. This is an old, I think it's, what is it, a Ben Dorsey bridge? Or is it Ben Dorsey, or is it the other guy? No, I think it's Ben Dorsey. Yeah, it's Ben. The other guy I was thinking of is Dave Snow, and he didn't do the bridges, I don't think. He did a bunch of industries. Like, I recognize this bridge. I think I have it downloaded, but it's just such a low poly model. I mean, that's it. Between the bridge and the rocks, I mean, that's all I can really complain about. It's just stuff that's a little bit okay, as opposed to being great. The only reason it looks as bad as it does is because the rest of the screenshot looks as good as it does.
Oh, Tyler, I just want to say, if you want to argue that you're trying to focus on the beauty of nature, I'd almost say that deserves points off for relevancy, because nature wasn't the prompt. The prompt was short lines. You can get nature like that on not a short line.
Here's my CSX main line with some deer.
Deer.
But yeah, so
I mean,
content.
Not on CSX, but if you wanted to say, like, BNSF.
Oh, there's plenty of deer on CSX. There's some pretty spots. State Line Tunnel's pretty. That's just one I can name.
There's pretty stuff.
Yeah. Fuller's is pretty until the cops show up.
So is Selkirk Yard.
Yeah. Okay, so story. I really like the story. It goes on a little long.
It's very well put
together.
It is
very good. It is a very good story. Tyler is a good writer.
Yes.
There's maybe some flourishes in there that were a touch unnecessary, though I can't really judge because I also went along with the story.
Not really a surprise.
This is more of an excuse to write than it is a screenshot competition for me.
I mean, I wanted to make sure that was in there, and so I don't think I'm about to knock points off for length, considering it's not, like, outrageously long.
No.
Yeah, remember, it's not size, it's what you do with it.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is a little too flourishy. Maybe that's the one thing I would say. It's very pretty. It's very good, but it's almost too pretty.
Yeah.
Give me a couple of really glossy moments in your text but crowning it off with indefatigable civilization.
Yeah, it's...
I like it. I do like it. It just seems like too much when coupled with all the rest of it.
Yeah. I like it, it just is maybe a little pretentious.
Just a little. Alright. World points. How do I not give this a 10?
Someone DM me that the coach reminds that for some reason it reminds them of Auschwitz, which
great.
Okay.
What?
I don't know how you get that, but that's fine. Okay.
Because apparently every European train car means Auschwitz.
Yes. I mean,
okay.
Amtrak means Auschwitz too now, so can't have that.
FEMA. What was the? Oh my God. What was it? Wasn't it Do Not Eat that had a bit, like a whole distraction in one of his videos about describing Automax, like auto racks and how they were, like how conspiracy theorists.
Oh, I remember that. The thing about them being like, the thing about them being prison cars for all of the true free speech warrior guys. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna go find it now.
Okay, Godspeed. I'll wrap this one up. So, world points, yeah, I'll just give it a... Do I give it a 9? It would be really cheeky to give it a 9 because of the B&M boxcar. Give it a 9 because of the Eagle?
I mean, like Tyler is suffering for points here.
Yeah, no, well, Germany suffers, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, relevancy to the prompt. You can take over this one. What do we give him for relevancy?
I almost want to give it a 9 just because nature wasn't the prompt.
Yeah.
But, like, if we're being entirely fair, that should get a 10.
Okay, fine. Completeness. Okay, time to check on this. I'm pretty sure it's complete at a glance. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's good. Done. 10. Alright, bonus points. See, the last two ones I went, or the last one I went, oh, I really want that bridge. I have this bridge. What I want is that car and those signs and that cat.
Give him a point for cat.
I mean, okay, I'll give him a point for
Give him
cat.
a point for Chonker.
Chonker. I don't... Like, I recognize so many of these assets, and then there are others that, of course, I just want. I'll give it a point, because I like that bridge. That's going to become a meme, in and of itself.
I like that bridge.
I like that bridge.
Yeah. Let's check on this positively staggering... Oh, you know what? I'll give him another bonus point just for the sheer volume of research that apparently went into this in a 4-hour period.
What?
Just looking at us in the box.
Okay.
10 plus 10 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 10 plus 10 plus 4. That's an 89.
Wow.
Nothing in the screenshot is private content. He alleges.
It's a short line. Tyler, if you complain, I can tell Ellis to knock that 10 down to a 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our bridge
You got to bully me in Loco Royale, so if I bully you a little here, you can just shut up.
Old and new technologies meet. Okay. So, old and new technologies meet. Alright, let me delete that one. Good, say goodbye. Oh, I can delete this one as well. Old and new technologies meet. Okay. Arkansas and Missouri.
Is this Shoeman?
Is it Yes.
Oh, I
This
found
is-
it.
This is our very own Shoe Man. Oh, you found it?
Yeah, it's Do Not Eat, Destroy City Skylines Industries DLC with faction.
Oh my God! Yeah, no, okay, yeah. That video
Alright, well, I'm gonna rewatch
simultaneously.
that segment after this.
That video simultaneously made me want City Skylines more and less. I like the detail with the ties. I really appreciate that. I
Yeah.
assume that's a spline, but oh no, it's probably a bunch of objects.
The ties are neat.
Yeah. As far as impact goes, this is admittedly low on the impact scale.
Yeah,
Heavy.
it's a little lacking.
Yeah, but I mean, what are you gonna do? It's a nice, well put together screenshot. You can't always spring for the super like, ooh ah shots. I mean, I suppose you could, but then I don't know.
All right, apparently Tyler's bitching, so want to knock that point down to a 9.
Okay.
Tyler's like, when you match your score for last competition, so hey, you know what? It cannot match anymore.
What do you get for talking shit?
88 points per hour. Alright, let me copy this one over because this one's still on one page. Alright, let me clean this up. So, think about this screeny, this fake photograph, this digital photograph, simulated photograph, that's what I'm looking for.
Yes.
The corollary to real life screenshot.
Simulated photograph, god damn it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just love looking at you.
Love you too. Simp. Okay. Submission title is Old and New Technologies Meet. Definitely not the catchiest title we've had tonight.
Yeah.
By our very own Shoeman.
The Man of Shoes.
I could pull up that video right now.
That's Fruit, right?
No, that's Ian. That's
okay.
That's
Oh no, Fruit is the toe man. That's correct.
Huh? Uh-oh. I don't know this one. You don't explain it. You don't need to explain it. I'm good without you explaining it.
He eats toes. I don't know what else to say.
Please don't make Gloria puke.
For your left shoes.
Stop it.
Okay, anyway. It's April 2021. Wow, this is a screenshot from the future.
Wow.
And the Arkansas and Missouri Railroad has just started up our excursions again for the season, albeit slowly. We're only running one train a week right now, and if things with the COVID situation improve, then we'll run more trains on more days. Okay. Today we ended up leaving about 7 minutes late, which isn't too much of a problem. Our passengers have snacks and drinks, so that'll hold them over. Strangely, it seems that the Monet turn was even later, as we did, passing right by it on the outskirts of Fayetteville. Or Fayetteville.
Lafayetteville.
Yeah. Come to find out, there was a blockage on the line outside of Mountainburg. Thank God for the MOW crews. You can't really see me in the shot, but I'm in car 105, Explorer, up at the front. I got Brenton helping me out in there too. Our lead today was Mike, and second in command was Nick. Alex and Cody are also here. I enjoy working with all of them. They truly make it fun for me. My friend took this photo and gave it to me. Thought I would enjoy it. He was right. It really gives the contrast to the old and new here. Our workhorse Alco's pulling vintage passenger equipment, and our Ace is pulling modern ballast cars. Really makes you look at the growth of the railroad, doesn't it?
Now, I say we take a point off because it's not Givos on stacks.
Givos on stacks. That would be a bonus point for Givos on stacks.
Confusion.
But don't worry, you'll understand.
I'll understand when I'm older?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll get
Just
it when
like
you're
Jeeps are a kind of diesel engine, Givos are another kind of diesel engine.
Alright, well,
You
2
already know
people
what
are
aesthetic
already saying it did 0 out of 10 because there's no bridge here.
No bridge. No point.
Yeah.
I agree. There's no bridges here, so, we kind of gotta...
Coach seems a little sus.
When it comes to private content, uh-oh. Oh, never mind.
I mean, if we are talking about this picture, the coach does seem just a little sus.
Stop.
So do those red locomotives.
Da, da, da. Alright, so I'm also going to put the production notes down here, and let's go through those real quick. Based on our current upcoming schedule, and this wouldn't have been possible without the support of Nick, Cody, Alex, and Brenton. They make it fun for me to work here, and I made this to show my thanks and to help bring light to this amazing railroad. The reskins were helped by a friend of mine, except the aces, which are JR products. Great models, they even got the head bell on. The concept is accurate to what we did pre-COVID. We usually tack all 6 of them on right now for social distancing. The Monet turn is a real train which usually happens to pass by in the night, but sometimes is caught during the morning as we're loading passengers. The road is H.O. Conrail STL line, modified to resemble the in-between area of Springdale and Fayetteville. I would like to ride on the Explorer. Well, anyway, so yeah, this is kind of low on impact. It's a cool screenshot, but the thing that grabs me immediately is that questionable paint scheme on the dome, which I know is not something that's screenshot dependent, but it does make me think. Ow! Ow! Stop that. Get the camera back over this way, so nobody's sliding out of frame. We're both in chairs with wheels.
Why? Why?
That's all we have is chairs with wheels.
Yeah. Well, that's not true. Yeah, but as far as impact goes, I don't know. It's not the kind of photograph that jumps out at you. It's nice to look at more. I keep noticing, like I noticed the ties after the fact, and the skyline is a cool detail, and the trees, and it's a well put together photograph. It just doesn't have the impact. Maybe messing with the time would be an interesting one to change it up. Making it like a little earlier in the morning. I don't know. Obviously, that probably wouldn't be consistent with the schedule here, but by and large, I want to settle on a 4 for impact. It feels a little low.
Yeah.
But I'll give it a 5 then. Creativity. So someone doing their hometown short line is a little different.
Yeah. This actually, I'd be willing to say, like, I'd score this pretty high for creativity because they're, like, I did this train that I actually worked on. Like, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Silver. Yeah.
Yeah,
Silver feather. Yeah. All right.
What?
Silver feather. And it's a creative shot, and the way the backstory is worked into it, I really do like.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Never mind. I thought you were trying to say something.
There's a bridge.
There is a bridge, guys. We found it.
There's a bridge. Yes, there is a bridge. All right, perfect 10. You win.
Ah.
Stop.
How?
Picking at my side.
Wonder if there's a problem while we do the first of tag.
Anyway. Yeah, no, I mean, I would score this like a 9, honestly. I mean, I don't see any reason to necessarily take points off. I mean, I feel like there's maybe little gaps here and there, but honestly, it's yeah, pretty
If you just close it out. I'm sorry. You just looked at me with, you're like, shit. Did I?
It was disappointment in myself. I knew that I did it. I didn't want to admit to myself that I did it. As far as construction goes, I mean, building this off of
There's a bridge among us.
Off of this existing route, and the way that it's sort of, the little things, the ties in the grass, the way that the background is kind of layered up. You've got the train, and then the fence, and then the buildings, and then the trees, or the bridge, and then the buildings. Honestly, it's a really well put together photograph. Fake photograph. Simulated photograph. Sorry. I don't know what's going on here, though. What did you...
Shot of the bridge. God damn it.
I mean, it's creative, it's good, it's got the reskins in it. It's well put together. Honestly, the only thing I can knock off is that, well, this was an adapted route, but I assume that more was changed than, minor stuff. So, I'll give it an 8 for construction. It's quite good. But it sort of goes hand in hand with composition. I'm thinking about these things in the background, particularly this truck cab. It just sticks out weird. Doesn't seem right. And this...
Is it in timeout? It's facing the building.
Yeah. Actually, I think it's parked in, like, the back corner of a lot. I think there's plenty of room between it and this, which is a trailer, that looks like it's like a long trail. I don't know why, but the way it cuts off, like right here, it looks like this trailer goes on forever and ever. It blends into the building. The background is a little bit odd in spots, which is why I have issues with the composition. But yeah. You didn't take a nap.
No, I didn't. That's why I'm yawning.
Not because I bore you.
I hate you.
Okay. Ow.
Bad.
My feelings. 3 10, the bridge is still not prominent in the shot. But, I think it's... As far as the train locations and stuff like that, it's a really well put together shot. Now, content. Now, let me go back to the, this real quick. Ace is a JR products. The reskins were done for this. I mean, I'm not going to count reskins against them, of course. And as far as content goes, well, the stuff you can reskin, like, I don't know if there are better dome cars out there, but this one's a little bit rough around the edges. It's an old model. I think these engines are also fairly old models. Everything in their Arkansas, Missouri consist is,
Oh, apparently Ian just found out that this is going.
Oh, I'm glad he figured it out.
I'm sorry.
Well, quick, let's get through a screenshot before he comes in and talks about it. But no, as far as content goes, that's an easy 10. I know, it is mean.
Don't be mean.
No?
No.
Not even to Shoeman?
No, you can be mean to Dean all you want. I don't care.
Yeah,
he already ate his shoe.
Be mean to Graham. Graham is easy to be mean to.
Can I make Graham cry?
I mean, you can try, but I don't see Graham as the kind of person who cries easily. He gets bullied too much.
That just sounds like a challenge. Don't take that as a challenge. Oh, now, story. Now, the story is a little interestingly put together. The fact that it's set in our modern times TM is good.
Graham doesn't need us to make him cry.
Oh, no fun.
God, I just thought about a response to that. That would be very mean. Anyway, he's in college, he has classes for that. Yeah, that's the right answer.
I mean, that's fair.
So...
What you said was even meaner.
It was, yeah.
That was really mean.
Yes. Yes, it was. That's why I'm not saying it out loud. So anyway, Arkansas, Missouri has just started up excursions, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we went through it, and aside from the little typos. It's well put together, and I think it gets, I give it props for being written in a different way, in a different tense,
Yeah.
And, like, the screenshot has an origin as a picture. So, I'm not particularly hesitant to give it a 7, even if maybe it is a little high. I like the stock. I like the way it was put together.
You keep checking on us and
I keep every time you get up, I know that the window is like barely big enough for the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Yeah. Now as far as world goes, I mean, this is a real place. This is a real place and a real train. Everything's explained.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's an easy 10 because, like...
Yeah. Okay, what about relevancy? What do you think? Is this a short line?
Yeah. This is a short line.
Yeah.
There's a short line railroad in the photograph. If we were being mean, I suppose I could say there's aces and I didn't ask for that, but it's a short line, and giving points off for including something that I don't think any other shot did would be kind of mean, so.
No, the only reason I'd be questioning is, like, I don't know about the Arkansas, Missouri, and I don't know if it's, just a tourist operation, does it really count as being a short line,
Yeah. Is it just a tourist operation? Because if it is, then I would be taking points off.
I don't think we know.
What's the name?
Arkansas and Missouri. Arkansas and Missouri.
Arkansas.
Why is this one Kansas, but this one is not Arkansas? Explain, America.
Anyway, so this is done, old new technology. Hey, he did the submission correctly, so I'll give him a 10 on completeness. Bonus points, 1 because he's in the screenshot. I like that. He said he would be in this coach here. Because he works on this rail. Yeah.
Oh. So there.
What?
The Arkansas, Missouri operates 139.5 miles of line from Fort Smith, Arkansas to Monet, Missouri. The railroad interchanges with KCS and UP and BNSF. Yeah, those... Remember when I said I'm not going to take points off for the aces? No, the aces are Arkansas and Missouri.
Yeah.
Which... Oh. Alright, so I'm going to say right now that short line is more of a vibe than it is an exact definition.
Yeah.
And if you were asking me, I'd say at the point where you're having aces, you're kind of losing the short line vibe.
Really?
Yes, that's...
Okay.
Because technically, wasn't the SRNRL something like 120 miles, and I'd still call that a short line because it manages to maintain the vibe.
Okay.
But
man, Ian just got vibe checked out of a point.
yeah, I'd give it a 9 on relevancy.
All right.
Because you're close, but the aces ruin the vibe a little for me.
Well, I like the way it's put together, set in our current time. I like the way it's Wild apparently likes that. Is acist? Oh no.
No, wait, I'm not acist. Hold on. Wait, we can talk about this.
We could talk. Alright. And I mean, nothing else jumps out at me, although those ties, I'll give another point for those ties.
Uh-oh, I got pinged.
Uh-oh, you're in trouble.
Oh no, it's just Weibel quoting me on that.
Okay. 9 plus 9 plus 8 plus 8 plus 10 plus 7 plus 10 plus 9 plus 10 plus 3. That's a 79. It's a good score.
Yeah.
Not answering that right now. Watch. Give it 30 seconds, I'm gonna get a text that's just like a frowny face. Okay. Next one. Alright, we've got 4 left.
Apparently shortline being more of a vibe than an exact definition is going to come up later.
Oh no.
Which, oh boy.
Oh no.
That bodes well.
This is the Denver and Rio Grande. We have a shortline vibe.
Yeah. I wouldn't say Denver and Rio Grande does have a shortline vibe, though.
Yeah. Alright. So there it is. Oh, not from you. Wyville just sent me a frowny face.
Oh no.
Anyway, the name of this screenshot is Late at Dusk, which is sort of a weird way of phrasing it. And Matt just sent me one too. I hate all of you.
Keep setting them.
No, stop.
Do it.
Someone call Ellis real quick.
I'm turning my phone off. Okay. What was it? Wait, which one is it? Late at Dusk. None of these are Late at Dusk. Alright, whose is it?
I'd say probably Dusk Run.
Oh, Dusk Run. Okay.
Closest.
I didn't expect this one to... I didn't expect Wybolts to come up again so quickly. Matt, Oh, well,
I think this is the later we were going to see.
This is the,
I like it. I really like it.
Welcome to my railroad on the planet Venus.
Welcome to my LSD trip with trains.
Yeah, I was thinking that skyline is just... So it wasn't just me. That skyline is a little, frighteningly pink.
Yeah, I like this, oh god, what am I thinking
cactus.
of? Yeah, what am I thinking of? It's the Northern Lights, localized entirely within your railroad. Yes. Can I see it? No.
At this time of year, at this time of day, in this part of the country, localized entirely within your railroad.
Yes.
May I see it?
No. Okay, so let's again grab this one. This is definitely like up there on the impact scale, just not for the greatest of reasons. I mean,
if only for the yogurt sky.
The yogurt sky. You know what? I've had a smoothie that looked just like this.
Yeah, this is like Trix yogurt.
Man, Trix, that's a name I haven't thought about in a long time.
I mean, me neither, but I was thinking, what's that yogurt that's like 2 colors and you mix them together?
Oh god. Yeah. Man, I'm hungry.
Yeah, I was eating spaghetti when we started this.
Don't look at me like that.
What? Look at you like what?
Like, like, are you reconsidering my proposal? I'm like, no. Stop. I could see just starting off where it's called Late at Dusk. I can already find where Y was upset with himself for botching the words part of the whole thing.
Alright, well apparently joke's on me, the sky is a real photograph that Wyble textured it on as a backdrop.
I love it.
Oh my god. This is my submission, intended to be my active one. The locomotive tender for trains for N3V. Distant mountains are actually short hills painted black to appear in shadow. No wonder they look so angular.
Yeah.
It's actually a photograph of sunset. Gloria does the Graham face, because Graham always sends the...
No, that's just me being shy and trying to get what I want.
Yes.
I'm still gonna make fun of it, but now it's just not on Wyville, it's on the sky in general.
It's on God. Good job, idiot.
Yeah.
God's sake, now.
Fucking yogurt-ass sky. What the fuck,
What's wrong with a yogurt having ass sky? Leave it alone. I think it looks beautiful.
Matt says I love it when the sky is the same color as Captain Crunch. Thanks, Matt.
I love all the shortcuts and shenanigans that are in this photograph now. I
Yeah,
love the fact that it's, fake mountains. And stop it. I love the fact that it's fake mountains and a fake sky. Well, a real fake sky. God, there's so much to unpack here. Anyway, this is definitely like a... I mean, screw it. Do we give this a 10 for impact? I
I love it.
I mean, sure, yeah.
I love it so much.
We'll give it a 10. It impacts alright.
It hits you like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
It hits you like a ton of sky.
What does a ton of sky consist of?
Sky.
Being super third into the sky.
Creativity, also really good. I mean, I don't know how I could make this not creative, right?
It's got 1 cactus, 2 cactus, 3 cactus, 4.
I mean, the painted mount. Now that he points it out, you can tell that they are just hills right next to it painted black. But it is very good. It does work well.
I mean, it had me going. I knew something was up, but I didn't know what.
Now you mentioned it, yeah, that's a photograph, all right.
Do we have? Oh, I can't look to see if we have the photograph right now, but you can, yeah. Don't do it. Okay, I'm not gonna do it. Oh, she's trying to save me from closing the thing out again.
Dean says the engine doesn't have its light on.
Oh, that's world points. Go to Gulag.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Gloomy. It says it squirts at you like a ton of yogurt.
It squirts at you?
Which the sentence I heard today.
Okay, so creativity. I mean, do I give this a 10? Do I give it a 9? I see it does actually. The light corona cuts off this angle. Okay, makes sense. All right, fair. I was gonna knock off a world point anyway for the very angular hills, but it's a trade-off. They look good. They didn't take time to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, creativity. I mean, honestly, this is outstanding. This is great. Go to quarantine jail.
God damn it.
Construction. It's extremely well put together. I wish there was more than one kind of cactus, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks maybe a little bit. I know this is a desert, but it does look a little barren even for a desert.
I mean, deserts do look like this.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm wondering what could have been done to make this cactus seem a little bit more varied. Even if it is the same asset. Maybe like sinking it half into the ground.
Yeah. Grim's foaming over Flagstaff now.
Of course he is. Also, is this just the hillside coming up, or... Okay, it has a rock abutment at one end, and at the other end it's just kind of hidden in there.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, it's good. It's proper.
You can see the abutment, I think.
Yeah. And it says handrails. Look, this is safe. This is the safest bridge so far.
I mean, if you just didn't walk on it, it would be safe.
Well, yeah, but in general. Okay, so construction, I'll give it a 9 for lack of cactus variety. That's the only thing I can think of, really.
Lack of cactus variety? There's not a lot of cactuses in the desert in the first place.
Yeah, but they don't all look the same.
Granted, but still.
I mean, no. Like, don't generalize cacti.
Are we inventing a new kind of cactus racism?
Yes. We've done
yeah,
acism, we've done cactusism.
Checked because of the roster.
It's 2S, it's both a speed tree cactus. Okay, so it is more than one kind of cactus. Oh, there's a 5th one hidden over there.
See.
Tyler says it's a desert person, it needs more shrubs.
No, it needs more tumbleweeds.
Oh, the trouble with tumbles. Here we go. Okay. Composition, I mean, honestly, how can you complain about this composition?
Yeah,
the only
it's pretty
thing that
good.
the only thing that's weird, the only thing I don't like is this point right here, where it looks like where the mountain lines up exactly with the roof of the coach, and this cactus is directly blocking the back of the
Yeah,
coach.
that.
Now, I understand that the screenshot
Yeah,
was taken
that.
while the locomotive was moving, or while the game was paused, but you know, it's just a little thing like that. It's one little like, this makes me feel weird.
Yeah.
Like that cactus number 3 does not pass the vibe check. Anyway,
Cactus 3 does not pass the life check.
Yeah.
I can.
oh sorry, I didn't even read the story yet. Westbound Union Pacific number 1 crosses the flats near Rock Springs, Utah, running late to Ogden. 2 hours ago, a weary but triumphant crew was supposed to arrive in interchange before sundown. Now, chasing the last fading glow of daylight, the train plunges into the dusk, hoping to reach salvation before the darkness forces a stop in the murky, windswept desert.
What year is this?
Good question.
Because I heard 2 words in there that make me go, okay, hold on. Hold on.
What? Well, yeah, I assume this is, 1870s, Why? What words are jumping out at you?
Because the Union Pacific, even if short lines are just a vibe, I feel like even from conception, Union Pacific does not exactly fit a short line vibe.
You need more shrugs.
I mean, you're not wrong. At the time, this was about the longest line you could get.
Yeah. A railroad conceived as a transcon, I feel like doesn't match the short line vibe. Because I don't mean short line vibe in isolation of just a photo. Because by that logic, I should be calling NS a short line. Because an NS logo could have a short line vibe. But
yes.
I'm talking more about the railroad as a whole. And as a whole, Union Pacific, I don't think really qualifies as having a short line vibe even in the 1860s.
I mean, look at it though. Yeah, honestly, what would have saved this is just removing the words Union Pacific.
Honestly, yeah, if you had not said Union Pacific, I would not have said any of this.
Well, we'll come to that in a minute. We need to talk about content first. I mean, he nails down where all the content is from. That's fine. I mean, easy 10. Story. Cool story, bro. The only thing that confused me, like I had to think about it for a second. A weary but triumphant crew was supposed to arrive in interchange before sundown. It wasn't immediately clear to me that you meant arrive at Ogden, or that he meant arrive at Ogden. But I understand now on the second stop. But also hoping to reach salvation before the darkness forces a stop. I mean, I assume old school railroading means you gotta stop? ? I just don't know. I don't know. Like this is reaching out for things that, like, I'm sure they're dumb questions that are easily answered, but as I said, I botched the story when I came up with the idea. It was actually meant to be West Texas. Moving the words. Now I kind of feel bad. But well, I'll give it like an 8 for the story anyway. I like the story. It's pretty anyway. Alright, and then World. So, I mean, it's nothing. The only thing that gets to me about the world, actually, aside from Tyler's complaints about what the desert looks like, I've seen plenty of landscape that looks close enough to this. The jagged mountains, first of all. Second of all, the thing that gets me is that this consist is really short, and it's only 2 passenger cars. Like, there should be something else in here, right? There should be an RPO, or a couple box cars, something. At this point in time, you need more train. You didn't really, maybe you did, and maybe I'm wrong, but you didn't really have these dedicated passenger trains like this. You might have had a couple coaches and then a pile of other stuff, right? So, I don't know, I'll have to give it a 7 there. I feel like it takes me out of it a little bit. The moment I start thinking about it and going, yes, the train is short. It's a short line local.
You want water? You don't want me to leave you alone with the boys?
No.
But you...
What?
You ditch me for them sometimes, so I don't want to hear it.
I just don't want you to leave in the middle of the
It
thing.
is. It is 933 miles from Council Bluffs to Ogden, Utah.
Aces will come to your house and use your bones for sand. That's what you get for being an acist. Alright, well, what do you think on the relevancy here?
I'm willing to say 5 or 6.
Okay, 6 it is.
Because it is a short train, it is small. This was Union Pacific's early days, but it's still Union Pacific, which was conceived and originally ran something like 900 miles from conception. It was never a short line, even as a vibe.
I mean, I don't know. It fits the vibe.
It was a short line for maybe like 3 months when they were just getting out of Council Bluffs. But I don't really count that because at this point,
it's not UP, but it is though.
It is. I'm sorry, card says UP.
I do want to clarify for everyone that this was supposed to be something else, but unfortunately it didn't turn into that, and now it has become this, and we're stuck with it. Alright, now as far as completeness goes, I give it a 9, because it's almost complete. The thing is, the screenshot title is a little bit off, but as far as bonus points goes, okay, 2 points for being very clever.
Yeah.
With your construction here. I'll give you a bonus point as well because I feel bad about the story situation, even though
Yeah, that. I am sorry, but at the same time, I'm not. It is a really good shot.
Yeah.
Give him a point
I
for
will
the amount
take
of
the
cactuses.
L on that sky, because if that is a real sky, then yeah, fair. I'll take the L on that one. That's my bad. But...
The Trix Yogurt Sky, Gloria said to give a point for the appropriate amount of cacti, so I'll give a point for cacti.
Cacti point. Now, son, don't touch that cactus.
You're dead to me.
Alright, let me tally these guys up. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. Is it? Have you been doing this math? Did you just do all this math in your head?
No.
I was gonna be mightily impressed.
6 plus 9.
82. Pretty good. My cat touched the cactus. Okay. Alright. That's number 4 taken care of. Or 4 remaining, rather. I can actually copy this one now. Hooray.
I can't touch the cactus. Tyler, I'm sorry about your cat.
Okay, let me clear out
Sims will
this.
now cactus at acceptable levels.
I love that.
I want a cat.
I know.
Ellis won't let us get a cat.
Right. We're not having a discussion right now. Alright. This is Short Lines, Midnight Dreary. This is Guys. Hey, Guy. Alright, so I'll look at this in just a second. Tyler, stop. So, Midnight Dreary. Guy the Wise. Dash Rail Lord.
It makes me... It looks like an indie horror game, kind of. Like
You know, that was my thought as well.
Get out of my head.
It's a cool and spooky shot. Hey, listen, I've been here for all your watching of Markiplier's 3 Scary Games.
Yes, leave my addiction alone.
No. Also East Broad Top. I think this is East Broad Top. This is also nice and low poly.
I also like how you can see the shirt.
The guy. Nice plaid. Sir Lumberjack. This is a cool shot. I think it is a little bit above the middle of the road when it comes to impact. Certainly well framed. I think he died. I don't know what happened to him. But, let's see. This is by... Scroll down. Guy the Wise. Also, I need to leave a space there. Nope. Please, let me leave a space right there. Thank you. We're going to grab the... this. Good wordy story. Let's start. March had been hell on miners and railroaders alike. Usually, coal trains on the narrow gauge were run in the daylight in order to aid visibility for the crews, but circumstances brought about nighttime services throughout the month. The mine had been in a bad streak until recently, but miners finally broke through in an untapped vein. In a bid to get through their backlog, the mining company pressed the miners hard. 16 tons, unfortunately for them, only got them another day older and deeper in debt. What would 22 tons get them? An early grave, perhaps. Here we see 18, one of the lines 282, slogging up the 2.5% grade one dreary March midnight, with just over 800 tons in tow. The landscape was drenched, thankfully being held up by the trees. Should the rain get harder, the terrain might actually wash out from underneath their wheels. The rails were built cheaply in order to get up a steep mountain, so that gravity can feed the coal from narrow-gauge cars to waiting standard-gauge hoppers down below. 15 miles per hour is the limit as the line winds like a coiled snake, ready to strike, but poor number 18 can only make 10, with the coal on its tender's knuckle thanks to the grade. With the throttle wide open, one doesn't have to listen hard to hear the locomotive plod its way up the winding path. A water column had to be installed at the top, as steam engines would nearly drink their tanks dry and yet still be thirsty. The run down is no help. The engine would for certain run out at the bottom without refilling. Usual practice for night runs is to ditch the consist in the runaround, taking the caboose back down. Either the yard goat or even the morning peddler, if need be, would take care of things. The same applies for crews with strict timetables. Just drag the coal up, park it in either the runaround or one of the sidings, fill up on water, then crawl back down. Number 18 has unfortunately just begun trudging up the grade, rails slick underneath its wheels. It will make it up for certain, but what about back down? Okay, that was sort of a meandering little story. I think it's, everything there's nothing wrong in there, that's for sure. But I feel like it could be condensed quite a bit and still get the same sort of point across. As is, I feel like I got lost in it a little bit. Yeah.
Hi, I'm back. My Discord crashed.
Yeah, we noticed.
Yeah, hi. I'm alive now.
Mm-hmm.
But yes.
I think this lands about a 6 on the impact scale. I like the way it looks.
Yeah.
It does pop a little bit.
Yeah.
As far as creativity goes, even though this does seem like a we are the EBT. It doesn't say that it is, at any rate. It certainly feels like it is, but this is a, this is a freelanced version of something very similar. So, I mean, I like it. I find it interesting when the EBT shows up because, I know that we have sort of talked about the merits of the East Broad Top at length. Hemlock, but it's like there isn't a lot else like it, certainly not anymore, and when it shows up it's like, okay, so this is the style. We've stepped into a style that isn't typically seen. When people bring out 3 foot, it's like, oh, here's my ripoff of the Grand Narrow Gauge, but this is something a little different, and I think I kind of like that. So, also the stump. I know it's such a little thing, but the stumps next to the track are nice little add-ons. So, I'll give it an 8 for creativity. Why not? Well, a 7 because there's not a whole lot going on. And construction is kind of the same deal. Using a few assets. I mean, I think the scene is well set up. I feel like you could use an abutment here. Like I said, the stumps are good. Some grass would be good.
Yeah, the textures feel a little samey, and it feels in desperate need of some grass.
Yeah. I mean, overall, the screenshot feels cohesive, right? But it's cohesive because it's sparse in the same way across the whole thing. You're right. Like you said, it's very similar to an indie horror game.
It looks exactly like an indie horror game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I
feels
mean,
like this is the opening scene where you get hit by a train and then you like wake up in the woods with a monster chasing you or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or this is the monster chasing you.
The monster is the EVC.
Yeah. The monster. The monster is the scrapper. You play as the train.
The monster is me, and the train should be afraid.
But yeah, I mean, despite its scarcity, I think I will still give it a 7 for construction because it is well put together in a sort of uniform kind of way. As far as composition goes, I actually think the composition is pretty standout. That uniformity really does help it. And with the lighting, now I looked down in the production notes here, and the lighting is done. I sort of had a feeling, but it was done by a separate light source with another locomotive parked facing this, which I really do like. So I have no problems handing this a 9 for composition. And I know we're sort of drawing out to the end of time here, and I sort of want to move through this because you're going to leave me if I make it any longer.
I didn't say that. I'm thirsty.
Oh, okay.
I'll come back.
Oh, okay.
It's not like I'm...
Really? You come back?
Yes, I'll come back. Do you want water?
Yeah.
Okay.
My throat's really dry.
From all that talking you're doing.
Do you want me to stop?
That's up to you.
Well, it wasn't what I asked. Okay. Let me hug the camera a little bit. Wheelie chair. Okay. So, content, he covers the content, which, I appreciate. Locomotive is EVT-18. EVT Mikado reskins made by the Brome Gamer. It's reminiscent of the, I assume it's a reskin of Ben Neal's old thing. So, yeah, that's an easy 10. I also like how, he details the different kinds of assets, which I believe is worth the bonus point because it lines up with my philosophy that I've had on Tollbrand for so long, which is find a couple assets that you like that pair well together and just use them, As far as story goes, like I said, it's cool, but it meanders. It can be condensed down. I feel like you could make it about half the length it is, and you could still get the point across, and it would probably feel better. I don't know. It is what it is. I do like it. But yeah, I sort of got lost in the weeds there a little bit. So I don't know. What do you think? A 6 or a 7?
I'd say a 7.
Yeah. Okay. A sucker for longer form. As far as world goes, I mean, this fits in well enough. There's nothing wrong with the world here. Nothing really jumps out at me other than yeah, maybe you're missing an abutment.
Yeah.
And grass. So, I'll give it a 9 for world. Why not? Relevancy. This definitely fits the prompt. I think so, anyway.
Yeah, I can't fault this on relevancy, really.
Now completeness. Everything's filled out right except Midnight Druid, Guy the Wise, Rail Lord. Those two aren't the same person, are they?
No, they are.
They are? Okay.
Yeah, they are.
Okay. Then that's a 10. Alright, I'll give a couple... I gave a bonus point because I liked the way that it was put together, the philosophy behind the different assets used.
I like it because it looks spooky.
Wait, I just... East.
What did East do?
Church of Bednar.
Okay, I'll have to see that later.
He did it to me. He got me.
Other than that, I mean, nothing really jumps out at me. I'd consider giving a point for East Broad Top, but
Yeah.
Alright. 6 plus 7 plus 7 plus 9 plus 10 plus 7 plus 9 plus 10 plus 10 plus 2. That's 77. Still a respectable score.
Yeah.
What did... Oh. Okay. I like that isosceles triangle.
Yes.
Okay. You alright? You jamming out?
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to have no copyright sounds music playing in the back, but apparently that wasn't no copyright enough. And I still got in trouble.
I love Content ID.
Yeah. Oops.
Ow.
Okay. So, penultimate submission. Delete this one. Yes. This is W.M. Deary.
Oh, this one. Yeah.
Okay. W.M. Deary. Is that a name?
I would assume
I
so.
suppose I'll find out. Is that PBR textured ground? Man, it's like tripping me out.
Yeah, it's...
Ah! Why is it hard to look at? Why do the cables do this?
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too. It is, it's a good shot, but there are a couple rough spots.
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing this in production and being like, oh, this is gonna be a cool shot, and now I just can't look at 90% of it.
Yeah. The biggest problem here is that it's all just one texture.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a painting. Like, in the distance, it looks like paint, but up front, it just looks...
Yeah. I like that lumber mill. I see that guy in the background there. That train's default lumber mill.
Now,
I certainly can't fault anyone for using that, but W.M. Deary, I assume we'll get the explanation for the title of this, although I believe I've heard it before anyway. Bender is great. So, let me grab the picture itself. The picture.
Picture.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Look at the picture box.
Look at the tube.
the tubes.
In
Losing
September
tubes.
of 1956, the W.I.&M was an interesting sight to behold. The 50-year-old railroad, Idaho's own short line, had now purchased at least 2 diesel locomotives. One, an Alco S3, and the other, an Alco HH660, bought secondhand from the MSTL. In at least 4 pictures taken the same day, number 66 can be found lugging a train out of Palouse, Washington, towards Potlatch, Idaho.
Potash.
It's definitely not that. The screenshot asks a question and puts it into motion. What if W.I.&M number 1 had been there to pull the train instead of number 66? Although the two 10-wheelers had been retired in the early 50s, and the two consolidations of the line would be much more suited and still available to haul the train, it is still fun to think about what could be. Still a fun to think about what could be, huh? The locomotive itself I have come to call W.M. Deary, after a member of the Potlatch Lumber Co. that passed away early in its life. His name is also kept alive in a small town along the line, Deary, Idaho. Okay. Production notes. Screenshot was taken using the maximum possible graphical settings. The base overall took at least 6 to 10 hours combined to make. Most of the route was finished today, making it looked rushed. In my humble opinion, however, from a distance it looks pretty good. Okay. Note that much detail past the frames of the camera and indeed beyond the shrub blocking the left side has been skimped out on. Firstly, it's not entirely possible to know what it looked like, as this is just a small mill town and a small line with few pictures, but secondly, I just wanted to finish up in a way that looked good without ruining it too hard. First production should be relevant title, and should relevant titles come about again, I may take another section of the line. Maybe the lumber mill itself in its heyday. Thanks for looking over. Hey, our pleasure. Thanks for your submission, and honestly, I should have been thanking everyone as we went along, and I haven't been doing that, and I apologize. So, impact. Yeah. Now, the problem is, the impact of this, as neat as a shot it is, was completely taken away by that texture. By that unfortunate grass texture.
It's a good shot if you just ignore the grass texture. Like, that's the biggest thing.
You might need more
this.
hands than that.
Sorry. Man, bad joke.
Go ahead.
It's okay, she still loves me even though I'm not handsy enough.
Stop it.
Alright. Well, filing that away under yikes and swiftly moving on.
Yikes.
Ow.
Are you okay?
This chair is my
That chair sucks.
It does. Now I understand why your back hurts all the time.
Yeah. Anyway, do you want to trade chairs?
No.
No? Okay, you sure?
I am positive.
Okay, good, because I wouldn't want you to have this one because you could just roll away.
Is that why you put me here, to trap me?
Well, no, but it does help.
He's trapped me.
Yes. Yeah, so I don't really know what to say for an impact on this one. Just sort of makes me go, ooh, you know? Gut feeling is like a 3, which is rude, but... It just takes... That grass takes so much away, and I'm sorry.
I would say a 5.
Yeah? I'm gonna say a 4 then. Let's meet in the middle. Creativity, though. This is another replica of an existing of a real life screenshot, except it's swapped out motive power, etc. And that I like. This is a you okay? Interesting twist on that duplication. Now I kind of wish I had the screenshot here to look at. Milky did a good job linking his, but either way, I mean, I like the shot in general. I think it is very creative, and honestly, as far as like the holes in the shot go, I don't even think it's that bad. Like, I'm happy to give this like an 8 because it's well enough put together. As far as construction goes, there are definitely ways to fix these curved wires.
Yeah.
There are definitely ways to not have your grass look so terrible.
It's like browning.
And that's use more than one grass texture. And Turf Effects. Turf Effects is good for you.
Yeah. Well, is this not Turf Effects? I thought it was.
Is there Turf Effects in here? Because the texture is PBR, but Turf Effects is like the The grass that comes out of the ground. That's not
okay. I mean, it looked like there is some up there. Those don't look like splines up on the hillside, but...
Yeah, I think that's turf effects on the hillside. I think there is turf effects here, but it's kind of drowned out by the texture.
Right. This would be maybe a decent texture on its own, and not with the camera so close to it. But, yeah, that's kind of my only gripe. Also...
Yeah, the biggest and only gripe is the texture, because with the texture, we've reached peak brown.
Oh no, I think we can still achieve more greatness than this.
I mean, it could have been the sky brown.
Can we get just a brown image to use as the sky? Alright, anyway. I mean, it is a good recreation of a scene, and this was done without a dem, presumably.
Yeah.
Like, I like it. It's just, that takes away from it. I think I'm going to have to give it like a 7. I mean, it's really the only problem I have with it, but it's just kind of a big problem. It's taking up a third of the picture. As far as composition goes, well, now we're just judging the original photographer again. Check on this. Wrong way, again. This way. I really wish my camera had a wider angle of focus. Or had a wider, whatever. Wider lens. Fisheye lens. That would look great. I don't see anything wrong with the composition, really. I mean, maybe if you had less hillside in the bottom, but... The other thing is, I don't think the train is moving, for the shot. I can't quite tell, but I don't see...
Oh, the train was definitely moving. It was just moving at like 5 miles an hour.
Okay.
I can vouch for that.
Okay. Either way, I'm gonna settle on like an 8 for composition. There are definitely things that could have been done better with the left side of the picture as well, and in fact, I think leaving that I know we put the shrub in to sort of cover up the area they didn't finish, but you could have done more with that, and leaving the water feature in there definitely does nicen things up, I think. I would think. As for content, what?
Nothing, I'm rereading things.
Okay.
Ian asked where I had said that short line is more of a vibe, so I linked him to where I said it in polls and votes, and also saw that I said a short line is anything under 300 feet.
Oh. Under 300 feet.
Yeah, all of these are disqualified. There's more than 300 feet of track in these.
Well, I mean, I feel like the Union Pacific goes so high it overflows to a negative number.
I don't think that's how that works.
I think that's exactly how that works.
I'll
have to check those. Now, content... He doesn't mention much about the content, but...
Yeah.
I mean, I can just give like a flat rate for that. I mean, everything... I don't think anything jumps out at me as being wrong. Nothing jumps out at me as being bad except for the grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talk about the grass a lot, which maybe is a little unfair, but like... Ignoring the grass, which is admittedly a little hard to do, it is a good shot.
Yeah, it is. And the story is quite neat. In fact, I'm willing to... Well, I'll probably drop an 8 for the story because there's a typo in here, but otherwise...
Yeah, it's again,
good.
all grammatical complaints aside, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Also, it doesn't... I mean... Yeah. Something about the naming of the engine is interesting. Oh, you know what? I'm going to throw a bonus point down in case I forget it because of the screenshot name tied with the engine name tied with the person's name. I kind of like. I find that neat.
Yeah.
As far as world goes, I mean, I'll give it a 9. I can't complain about the grass in this one. I can complain about these power lines. And then subbing in the steam engine for the diesel. I mean, I suppose he does admit that there are other steam engines that would be better in this instance, that the line had. I'm not entirely sure where I fall on that, but I think it fits into the world fairly well.
Yeah.
It's a long train for a little engine, though. Relevancy. It's a slam dunk.
Yeah, that's a short line. Yep, that checks.
It is more than 300 feet, though. So.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I'm sorry.
So we're gonna have to give that a -5.
I was just about to change the 10 to a -10. I'm sorry, little one. Alright. Now for completeness, everything is done properly. Well enough. As for a bonus point, that lumber mill. Because why not? It's cute. Also the old history shenanigans I don't mind. I'm a sucker for old history. 4 plus 8 plus 7 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10 plus 10 plus 3. It's a 75. 75. Okay.
Alright. Well, and the last one is mine, so I'm gonna take this opportunity to disappear for 5 minutes.
Okay.
Dunk on it while I'm gone.
Okay. Alright, so we're gonna talk about how trash this is. And you and me, we know thwash.
I twash.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Good twash.
No.
Yeah.
Now, let me clean this up. I should have just copied this over the correct number of times beforehand, but I am lazy. Okay, so last but not least, probably, August Haze. That's not too wordy. Alright, close this guy out. Soda Wars. Delete that. Yes, goodbye. August Haze from Thwash on a Twain. Oh, we've got a double train bow.
And look, there's 2 bridges.
Yes, this is it's a composite half bridge shot. I'm sitting on my wallet and it's cutting off blood circulation to
Fat
my
stacks.
leg. Yeah, my fat stacks. All my membership cards.
You don't like membership cards.
I know, I don't. You're right. So this I've already seen it a couple of times, or at least prototypes of it, but it's a very cool shot. It doesn't have as much of a gut punch as some of the other ones do when you first open it up, but it did make my eye travel. My eye traveled from up here, across, and then down, and then over when I noticed this track here. It sort of, this is a picture that really does draw the eye through, and I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, suppose it could go up the other way, but as far as impact in terms of a you know, a dollar value here, so to speak, we'll have to settle on that in a second. Let's say put these guys where they belong. Oop. Oop. Construction notes Volvo in background. Where?
You see, if you zoom in on the bridge, there's a car down. There's a car on that. That car is a Volvo.
Look, baby.
Look at all 12 of those pixels.
There was also a TARDIS underneath one of the supports for that bridge, but the train ended up being in the way.
Oh.
Aww.
Well, I appreciate this bonus bait. What?
Hey, if Tyler can put Easter eggs, I can put Easter eggs.
Yeah. I mean, Tyler's Easter eggs consist of cat. Cat.
An eagle.
An eagle.
Yes.
Going into power
Dead
line.
eagle.
Anybody want fried chicken?
Tastes like chicken. Okay. So let me drop in the final production note here. Volvo in background.
Buy my balls.
So let me put that one in there for bonus points right away.
Yeah,
Oops.
I realized after seeing everyone else's submissions, maybe I should have put more information about the content I use, but
Yeah.
it's all Ben Neal. It's all Ben
You're
Neal or
helpful.
DLS stuff.
Yeah. And I mean,
So,
some of the information is nice, but it really only sticks out as like, oh, this is really helpful when it's tough to get, you know?
yeah, like it's Ben Neal. It's very obviously Ben Neal 30-inch.
Yeah, I know those coaches from many
Yeah,
moons ago.
it was. I mean, it was that, or it was open air excursion coaches, which did not fit at all.
Mhm. Okay. So let's read through this. It was August 1924. 26 years ago, the Basilic Creek Railway began snaking its way through the hills, providing lumber a path to market. 25 years ago, engine number 2 brought the first trainload of timber down from Fordham's Peak. 20 years ago, number 4 was purchased as the line grew. 5 years ago, 21 was delivered, the largest engine to put wheels to the BCRR's rails. But all of that was yesterday. Today, he sees 4 is run passengers.
Okay, hey, I'm not. You know,
I'm just
if there's one thing I can't do, it's proofread.
uh, while 21 takes empties and supplies up from the mill in Crow's Nest. In another 5 years, that bridge will fall out from under 4, plunging it into the water with 58 souls in tow. 23 will crawl out onto the bank. In 10 years, 21 will be reduced to a maze of twisted tubes and shrapnel when the ill-maintained locomotive finally gives in. In 12 years, these rails will carry their last train. There will be no glory, no grand goodnight. It will simply slip away. Few will note its sentence to sleep forever in memory. It is August 1975. 26 years ago, he visited the old route to hike the abandoned right-of-way. Though it is choked in weeds and roots, he can still follow the old grade. 19 years ago, he finished a book recounting the life of the BCRR. Today, he sits in a rocking chair, out in the hazy heat of the August day. He rocks back and forth, listening to the crickets chirp. Though it's hazy now, he remembers the heat of that August day, as 21's whistle drowned the chirping crickets and rocked the ground beneath his feet. He can almost see it. That is really, really cool.
I also see where the name comes from.
Mm-hmm. There was, that is... I was almost going to say it's almost better being cut off at, few will know descendants to sleep forever in memory. But I do like how it sort of wraps back around. To that. But anyway, alright, back to settling on impact. And it isn't, like I said, it doesn't jump out at me as much as some of the other ones did. But I still think it's deserving of probably a 7. I certainly can't complain about that. It's a good middle of the road score.
I think it's very creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we get nothing but creativity out of Hemlock, that's for sure.
Not always in a good way, but I do a lot of thinking about things.
No, I do mean that in a good way. So it is very creative. It's almost got this, it's got a poem that goes with it, basically. It's got this scene, which I assume was completely created from scratch.
It was not created from scratch. This is actually a version of North Bay County.
Oh, is it?
That I did some heavy editing to. Like a lot of the textures here, like the rock texture up on that cliff, that was grass originally. All the texture, the gravel texture under the rails, that was also, but I also replaced that with PBR. Mm-hmm. All of the Turf FX, some of the trees in the shot. I did heavy editing, but it is not technically my original build.
Okay. Well, I think as far as this settles, you've got stories for the engines, you've got story for the line, condensed and in a way that doesn't let you get lost in the weeds. You've got, I mean, I don't know what it doesn't have really. It is honestly deserving of a 10 as much as Tyler's was, that's for sure.
This is less to showcase my skill with screenshots and more just an excuse to write, honestly.
I mean, any excuse.
I mean,
Yeah, any excuse to write is a good excuse to write. Construction sort of falls into the same vein. I mean, it's not your route, of course, but it is modified well enough. I think the only thing that gets me is this span is too long to be unsupported. I'm always nitpicky about that. Otherwise, everything looks good to me. Also, these pillars are very tall, but it is what it is. It's just that this bridge overall just makes me feel weird things, and not good things.
not good weird things.
No, not good weird things. Not like Discovery sorts of weird things. Like weird things like ooh, my engineering senses are tingling. You're escaping.
I'm not trying to.
Yeah. Well, no escape.
No escape.
No escape. Scoot to the edge of my seat. It keeps rolling away.
Yeah. To do this, I had both of them get a running start just so I wouldn't have the, like, it spawned in sitting here effect, and good God did that 440 give me trouble, because it's an old bend meal, not a float was finicky to get going, and the problem is I had all of the settings cranked to max, so I'm struggling to get this thing going while I'm getting, like, 1 frame per second.
Oh, great.
But, I mean, it worked.
As far as composition goes, this is a gorgeous photograph. The only thing I can think of is maybe if it was pushed in just a little bit. I feel like it's almost easy to lose the engine there. You know, it feels nicer when I've zoomed in one click. But otherwise, I like it. You know, certainly nothing wrong with it. Content, that's a slam dunk, easy 10. There's nothing here that that's wrong or bad. I mean, even the stuff that's old, it's in the background. It doesn't show up as being weird. I mean, these pillars are a little weird. This trestle, I feel like...
Yeah.
I mean, it's squashed a little bit. That's more of an engineering quandary.
Like, you know, maybe one of these days we can get a, well, there's your problem on its collapse.
Oh, God.
Hey, I mean, if you want to factor that in, it does collapse, so if it's engineered a little weird...
Yeah. Is this a real story, or...
Oh, God, no. I
didn't think so.
By the seat of my
you're
pants.
just saying, making a, well, there's your problem on. I was like, wait a minute. Because you always pull out the most obscure history.
I mean, it's good, because now I have a tool bag for when I write, I can say, this might sound weird and fake, but in actuality, there was historical precedent. I am the writing equivalent of that guy who pulls up photos of, like, weird, rare prototype trains to justify their model concept.
Yeah. Gloria said your story deserves a 10, so I'm giving it a 10. Because I am also a simp.
I just like the story.
We're all simps here.
We all simp down here. World... I mean... You're gonna make this up in the obvious bonus point, but this is the only reason why I can't give you a 10 on World, because that Volvo's sitting there in the background.
Yeah, I know.
Also, is this all 30-inch?
Yes, all of that is...
Okay,
all of that is 30-inch.
Because I used to use the 30-inch coaches with 3-foot stuff all the time, because they were the only good ones I could get my hands on.
The route is specifically designed as, like, North Bay County version 2, and it's mostly 30-inch. There's a small section of 2-foot, but this is nowhere near that.
Gotcha. Huh. Wow, Hemlock submission without 2-foot. I don't know anything about
I
Taco
mean,
Bell.
I would have, but for as rough as the 30-inch stuff is, the 2-foot is way rougher.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think I could really nail the short line vibe I wanted if I went with, like, British stuff.
Right. Relevancy is definitely a 10. This is definitely a short line.
Yeah.
Completeness, let me look. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's good. Okay. That's a 10. Bonus points, point for the Volvo, obviously. Okay. Points for bringing me back to Geiger Mountains again, with those coaches. And I mean, honestly,
I'm surprised to be sure, but a welcome one.
Yeah. I don't know what else sticks out of me. I mean, it is a very, very nice screenshot.
I like the pretty flowers.
Yeah.
I like the detailing of the nature, even though it's,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm creative.
Yeah, no, and that's good. That's why I want other insight than my own, because I'm just going to be, like, talking about how funny the bridge looks for an hour. But
apparently I made Matt cry, which...
Oh, apparently it's not hard to make Matt cry, I guess.
Apparently not.
I want to make Dean cry.
Good luck with that.
What if I stab him? Will he cry then?
I mean, probably.
Let's not find out.
But, you know...
Let's not find out. You're not allowed to stab Dean. Not even with my pineapple thing. Alright. That was 10. Whoops. I almost gave you an extra point. 7 plus 9 plus 10 plus 9. I did that in the wrong order. Plus 10 plus 10 plus 9 plus 10 plus 10 plus 3. 87. Okay, wait. Can I find you one more bonus point? No, I don't think I
Give
can.
him a bonus point for the second Easter egg with the TARDIS.
Yeah. Okay.
That feels cheap. Don't do that, please. God.
But then you'll have the same number of points as Tyler.
No, Tyler can take the W on this one. Like, he deserves it.
Okay.
Volvo in the background.
It's funny, with the Volvo in the background, you zoom in and it's only like, a handful of pixels, but it's still just as square as mine is.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I know I'm absolutely chill with taking the L to Tyler. He deserves it.
Okay. I thought we were gonna shenaniganize this to all hell. Alright, well, that marks the end of the second screenshot competition.
Yeah.
I would like to thank Hemlock, I would like to thank Wybold, I'd like to thank Bender, I'd like to thank Milky, I'd like to thank Guy, and...
I thank you for having me on, and I forgot to mention, but I would like to say, I spent like 2 hours just fiddling with environment settings to get the lighting right. Like, some previous attempts are posted in Fake Model Railroading. It took a while and a lot of fiddling.
Yeah. I'd like to thank Ian, and I'd like to thank Tyler, and East, and is there anybody I am missing? No, that's it. All submitters, double thank you, and let me just clarify this. Gosh, I have so many DMs. Let me just scroll up here. The next... Where'd it go? I guess it's up in polls and votes somewhere.
It's like hard times. That's the theme. It's hard times.
Okay, thank you. The next competition is going to be wrapped up in 2 weeks, submitted in Fake Model Railroading. If you want to join the Discord, if you're new around here, I will post there will be a link in the screenshot judging form. Yeah, I'll keep that bold. So, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Hemlock. Whoop, that's not what I wanted to look at. And thank you, Gloria.
Maybe.
And we'll see you again live in a couple of weeks. think I can kill the stream in